So the first topic of the day that we're going to have a chat about this morning, obviously, Ross, is going to be WrestleMania in GA. So the Kerry Intermediate champions, who actually are the All-Ireland champions. Brilliant, well done on that feat. But yeah, so it was up on Off the Ball website yesterday, and we tweeted it out, and it was very interesting to see people's different type of reactions.
Yep.
I think most people say, what the hell is that? Language is really inappropriate.
Yep.
What are they doing? What's the point? But obviously, as always, as soon as you put anything out on Twitter, you get the kind of crowd who come along and say, you know, what the hell are you talking about? Snowflake. I'm kind of interested actually. What can someone tell me what is a snowflake? I actually don't know what that is supposed to mean.
Yeah. I think we're getting branded as soft there, kids.
Exactly. Softies.
Soft, yeah.
And then of course, because you work in professional soccer, you're obviously a softie.
You're soft anyway, yeah.
Soccer players are soft.
Of course, yeah.
And then of course people are saying that, you know, look, it's a bit of crack and relax and go. One guy said to me, go, you know, enjoy the sport and everything like that. And I was wondering, how does he know that I don't enjoy the sport?
Yeah. And I couldn't see much enjoyment going on in
the
video.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, as you said, the geezer had half his face in the water and getting called a whatever he was called. Yeah. So the first thing is that the coach or somebody, the management of that team, please get in contact, because we're going to give you free membership of the site.
We could purchase the planner.
You could purchase the planner.
There's not wrestling in there, but the planner's good.
We can add in wrestling for next season. So yeah, get in contact and we'll give you free. We'll give you what we give. We'll give a 6-month free membership of the site at dailysportscience.com.
As we're snowflakes, yeah.
We're softies, yeah. And yeah, I suppose the usual thing, as soon as you put anything out on Twitter, people will all come back. There'll be a certain amount of people who will agree with you, and an awful lot of other people will say, you know, relax. And the thing that I always get whenever I'm talking about anything as regards the GA is a huge cohort of people are saying, just relax, and it's a bit of crack and a bit of fun, and calm down. And I always think about that when they say that you're not saying it because it affects you. I'm not looking at that and going, oh my God, that's absolutely shocking and I need to stand up for those players and whatever. It's, you see something, you think, okay, is that best practice? Number one, yes or no? Probably not, I don't think.
In our opinion, yeah.
Yeah, in our opinion, snowflake opinion. And the second thing is, okay, is there a better way of doing that? You know, so can you get fitter? Can you improve your special strength on the pitch? Is there other practices or drills or whatever you call to improve your body awareness and everything like that? And in this case, yeah, there probably is.
Definitely, yeah. I think also, like, looking at it from the game point of view, at what scenario would a Gaelic player ever or a Holy player ever have to do that in a game?
Yeah.
It would be a foul for one, so you're reinforcing poor habits. And like you said, there's better ways of doing that, whether it's 1v1 work, you know, proper relevant contact work.
Yeah.
There's going to be some justification for wrestling stuff inside the gym, I think, and if you're using it for fitness or metabolic fitness, then for sure. But you know, from what we saw in the video, what screamed out to us, I called it scandalous, and I stand by that. I thought it was horrendous.
You're coming from the soccer world as well, where there's no way in the world will you have done that down in Chelsea Academy.
No,
for instance, you'd never do stuff like that.
Maybe we would take them into a gym and do some wrestling for a multi-sport perspective.
Yeah. So, for instance, a Cork S&C guy said to me that, well, wrestling is brilliant and it's part of his program and everything like that. And like, I mean, we can see the benefits of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Can't we?
For
and the different kind of things that you can get from that. But as you say, in Chelsea, in other places, it would be in a specific scenario and setting.
And outside probably of the football work or the pitch-based stuff that you're looking to give them different skills, physically, technically, and mould them as athletes. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
But I think we had a bit of response from a rugby perspective as well.
Yeah.
Saying that, you know, a lot of rugby league teams do it and it's very specific to them. But when you look at the game of rugby, and I don't know the technicalities, but I'm sure you can't hold someone on the ground for 40 seconds. So it's not that transferable from a rugby perspective.
Really, yeah. I mean, the first thing I said about that, because somebody who works in professional sport actually said, oh, well, they do it in rugby league or whatever. And I said, well, it's a load of crap in that as well, you know, because, like, for instance, just because X team does it or Y team does it in that sport doesn't mean it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, and you can develop. I know there's a big justification around mentality and making people tougher and mental toughness and all this rubbish that gets said. Yeah. But like, you develop strong, mentally tough players, resilient players by not doing that stuff. By a lot of other good work.
Of course, loads of stuff. For sure. Like, as an example, so we were brought to the army barracks in Kilkenny when I was playing with Wexford football team back in the day. And we had about 2 to 3 days there, and it was about like teamwork and team building and cooperation games and problem solving games, and actually that type of thing was really, really good. There was a certain amount about discipline and everything like that, which was a little bit rubbish, where like there was the respect for the unfolding and putting up the Irish flag, which you know, obviously I support your country and your flag, but I just thought it was a bit too much, that kind of stuff. But then there was other stuff where the army sergeant and whatever, and my grandmother will kill me for this because we had guards in our family, my grandfather, in that he got lads they were like kind of squatting down and had to walk like that for 200 meters as a punishment, and that was to develop resilience and mental fortitude and strength of mind. And I just thought, like, what is the point in that? And of course, if you put up your hand and say, I disagree with this, what do you get called? Softy, snowflake, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, if you think of some of the sessions we did for London or even the other teams we work with, they're tough sessions.
Really
they test resilience, you know, the 1v1 rodeo work, the fitness work, the game work, small-sided games. You don't tell me they're not testing resilience out onto the field. So
true. It's interesting that you have rugby cohort, and a certain extent the GA and some other sports like boxing and stuff like that, and they have more of that type of stuff than like your football or athletics or cycling or whatever. I'm just interested why, you know, maybe there is more physical contact. There's a little bit more about mentality probably in those games in some ways. Like soccer is a very skill-based sport as well as strength and strong mentality. But it is interesting that there is more of that. But I wonder over time, will that die out bit by bit in time?
You know, I'd like to think so.
I
mean, look, there's no if you want to do it and do that sort of stuff for that reason and for a psychological corner, then, you know, okay. But in that conditions, in that circumstance, the way the coach was driving that, for me, that's fundamentally wrong. You know, that's just on all levels, it's just wrong. So.
Look, language is ridiculous. One thing that I was told by a number of people on Twitter as well, which is, I don't really care, obviously, because as soon as you say something out, people will mouth stuff to you, so I actually don't care. But one thing that bugs me about the industry is as soon as you mention like sports science or S&C or, you know, best practice or whatever, straight away you get this thing back from people saying, oh, sports science is all about stats and numbers, and you can't break down sport into that, and you know, like softies and stuff like that. They think you're going around with like a laptop in your hand running around after a player and he needs to run X amount of meters or whatever. And it just annoys me a bit, because what I say is, first of all, a good sports scientist or S&C coach, and there are a lot of bad people out there, just as there are a lot of bad coaches out there.
Bad anything,
bad everything, you know, that first and foremost they're a coach. Like they identify with the player, they understand the sport. So I just feel it's a kind of a lazy argument and comment to just say, oh, that's sports science gang, because they think we deal with just stats and percentages.
Yeah, I mean, I think those people probably haven't worked with good people and probably haven't worked in a full-time professional setup. So, you know, big thing that I thought on this was that, you know, you've got part-time, essentially they're going to be 2-3 times a week training, because part-time in the Gaelic, so why waste your time doing something like that when you should be working on, now they're champions, so you can't, fair play, they're doing some good stuff,
of course,
but for us there's no wastage, and you know, we wouldn't put that in the program because we haven't got time to mess around. You
maximize your time, don't you? And that's the final point before we move on from that, is like, that's an argument I knew would be the first tweet back. They're all Ireland champions, so what the hell do you know? And I just think, again, what a lazy comment, what a lazy argument.
So there's no room to improve for anyone there.
Well, like, they're all Ireland intermediate champions, but sure, maybe they could be in senior, you know, and win there or whatever it is. But I think it's a bad thing if we look at, like, as an example, if we look at Real Madrid won 3 Champions Leagues in a row, so you cannot critique them as a club or
well, let's look at Dublin, huh?
Yeah,
maybe something that we're going to come on to in the next few weeks.
Absolutely, yeah. So looking at how you can improve and how you can beat them. So that's it. So listen, get in contact with someone from the club. At least we'll give you one free membership of the site. We're not saying what we do is good or better than WrestleMania and GA, but there's some things there that you guys can learn, and probably we can learn from you as well. And in the training plan next year, we make sure to put in WrestleMania.
We'll add some stuff in,
into the stuff. So anyway, go over and have a look at the website, DailySportsScience.com, and get involved in the discussion.